Ora, então, folks, your boy, welcome to 5 numbers after name games beat in action. Sorry for taking the week off last week, man. A little bit under the weather, though. So I sat down, I started recording, and I was like, this don't sound good. I don't think anybody needs to hear that. But we're back, we're healthy. The BBCs did their job. Final Fantasy II is the games beaten here. As you'll notice, we're going to go through a string of Final Fantasy games. I beat 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and then I started 7 a little bit, and I don't know, it's weird. I know 7 is like a masterpiece. I just didn't grow up with it, and going back to it feels a little bit clunky. I gotta do it at one point. I gotta sit down and do it. I know I'm gonna beat it through the remake trilogy whenever that third one comes out, because I beat the other two, and I've enjoyed it. So I guess I'll beat it that way. Maybe I could just go straight to Final Fantasy VIII after that. But in the book right now, we have 1 through 6. I didn't mention 3 because I played the 3 on the DS back in the day when they remade that, and I just didn't go back and play it ever since. But either way, playing this on the Game Boy Advance version of it, listen, I think Final Fantasy 1 is better than Final Fantasy 2, personally. I find the job system in Final Fantasy 2 just weird a little bit, and not necessarily my thing, to my understanding. If memory serves you right, I beat this a little while ago, so I'm a little bit off on it, but like, you basically just have to use the weapons that you want or the magic that you want to increase that kind of stuff. It isn't like, hey, you're a mage and you do this and or that. Everybody can use everything, which in that sense, I guess is freeing. But it's also kind of funky sometimes, and I don't know. It took me a little bit of a while to get through, and maybe it's because I was coming off of Final Fantasy 1 and I went right into Final Fantasy 2 that I was like, hold up, man, what's going on over here? Outside of that, it's a continuation of the first one. I don't think the story is as good. I don't think any element's as good as the first one, per se. But it's a good game. I feel like it gets kind of a little bit of a raw deal because of the job system sometimes when I hear people like talk about Final Fantasy 2, and a lot of love is given to 1, and then obviously Super Nintendo ones are light years ahead, and I agree with that. They are light years ahead. In this case, I'm playing them all on the Game Boy Advance. But I dabbled into Final Fantasy 2. Maybe don't play the whole thing. Maybe play it enough for a little bit of it. But I enjoyed it. I had a good time with it. I would rank Final Fantasy 1 ahead of it. I'd probably rank 3 ahead of it as well from what I remember playing on the DS version. So out of those first 6, it might be the worst, but it's still good.